We are back here at Harding Stadium for the set of the kickoff for the second half. Harding will kick it off. Savion Tyler.
Well, Coach, as you mentioned before, due to the mercy rule in high school, there will be a continuous running clock throughout the whole second half.
And Savion with a nice kick, but it didn't stay in bounds.
Goes out of bounds.
Illegal procedure on the president. Fairbanks will have the ball first and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Fairbanks will take over first and 10 at their 35-yard line.
The team will now be played with a running clock for the new OHSA.
It should be noted, though, that the clock will stop when the ball goes out of bounds.
At the end of period and for timeout. If the point differential should fall beneath 30, a normal clock operations will resume. Thank you for your attention.
No, I believe, Coach, with the mercy rule, I think it only stops on a timeout. I don't think it stops out of bounds or incomplete pass or anything.
Okay, all right.
Now, I might be wrong.
Maybe on change of possession, though, it might change, Coach.
Possibly on change of possession.
Here.
And a misdirection.
Like a miscommunication.
Going to be a pitch and nowhere to run.
Iannarino, the ball carrier.
Great tackle by
Iannarino was the ball carrier.
15.
Who was that tackled by?
That was freshman Noah Thompson.
Noah Thompson.
It's very rare that you see a freshman called up to the varsity level. In order for that to happen, has to be a fantastic young man with good athleticism. Looks like he's playing a little free safety for us.
Noah's been a big part of their defense this season. Had an interception last week against Mansfield.
He actually did have a really good interception. Looks like tackle by committee there by the Prexies. Getting up from the pile, we have number 54.
Chip is the ball carrier. A gain of about 4. Got the original 4 yards back that they just lost. 3rd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
That was Ray Candela there on the last tackle. Ray the Candyman Candela.
Warner back to pass, going to be under pressure. And
Roger Hammond.
Down goes Warner.
Boy, howdy, he didn't get
Roger Hammond on the sack. Brings up a 4th and about 20.
Looks like the gates just parted there for him. He ran through. No one's stopping him. Looks like now instead of one guy back deep, we have 2 guys back deep in Nicholas Middlesworth and T.J. Jefferson.
Not a real good kick. Get away from it, Harding.
Looks like the Prexies will not field that one, Coach.
Going to be down about the 42-yard line. Harding will take over 1st and 10 from their 42-yard line.
Well, and you got to think here, Coach, with the Prexies up by such a large margin in the third quarter with a running clock, you got to think that we'll see some of the starters maybe right off the bat, but we might start seeing some of the youngsters make their way into the game.
Well, and I don't think there's going to be a JV game tomorrow. I might be wrong. And it gives your JVs a chance to play and get their uniforms dirty here.
Absolutely.
On Friday night. Sayers still at quarterback.
Looks like we got an eye backfield.
Keenan
Harrell. Titus Douglas.
Hand off to Harrell. And Harrell up, and he breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races. And nobody's going to catch Keenan.
And just like that, the Prexies put 6 more on the board.
That's a 59-yard scamper for the touchdown.
Keenan Harrell with a 59-yard scamper.
Those fireworks are sponsored by Woodhard Insurance.
Savion Tyler set to kick the extra point.
Roger Hammond on the hold.
And the kick is up. And the kick is good. I believe Savion makes him 7 for 8.
Yeah, not
the extra point.
Not bad for a young man who's been kicking a football all of 4 games this year.
9:06 remaining in the second quarter. You're watching Marion Harding High School football, a Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
I love the club. It's the reason I'm here. It's taught me so many lessons, and I can talk about it in a positive way and an honest way for the rest of my life. You know, in the community or in the town, your role models are the people.
We're back here at Harding Stadium. 9:06 remaining in the third quarter. Marion Harding 55, Fairbanks nothing. Savion Tyler set to kick off.
Well, I think it's safe to say that this young man's leg has gotten a workout tonight, Coach Lindsay.
But again, you know, now is the time that we really got to concentrate and still do the fundamental things right. You know, no letdowns, no setbacks. We're on a roll now. Let's keep on a roll. Let's keep doing the right things and hope this carries over to next week.
Absolutely, Coach. I couldn't agree with you more.
Savion's kick is taken at about the 17-yard line. And a nice pursuit drill. And there is tackled by...
I think that's young Noah Thompson again.
Noah Thompson.
Should also be noted, Coach, we talked about this earlier. We talked about the importance of playing more than one sport. And Noah's a very athletic kid, but I know he's a good wrestler. And Harding's wrestling program is very excited to see what that young man can do when he steps on the mat for him this year. Right. It'll be interesting to see what Fairbanks does here.
Only got 10 players on the field, so somebody's supposed to be in there and not in there.
Someone's not.
Harding's playing with 10 players. Coach.
Oh, it looks like they put the ball on the ground.
Flag.
I do believe that's a sideline warning, Coach. I saw the referee look right at Coach Brady, and he threw that flag.
Well, those are things, again, little things that you gotta correct. You got to do the right way. And see, there we find the culprit, 56.
Number 56 for the Prexies.
Time to play.
It's none other than Caden Brady. Caden Brady.
5-yard penalty brings up a 2nd and 5.
We don't know if Caden was the culprit, but he's the one that went in late.
Absolutely. Could have been somebody else, but they just snagged Caden and told him to get on up in there.
I believe Caden was in on the tackle there.
Oh, there we go.
So
Good
if he
stuff
did
by
anything
Caden.
wrong, he made up for it there. Going to bring up a 3rd and about 4 for the Fairbanks Panthers.
Caden checks out of the ball game.
Fairbanks going to stay with the...
That looked like a busted play there, Coach. Sometimes those are the most dangerous, though.
And Warner makes the most of it, breaking a couple tackles. Down inside Marion Harding territory, down to about the 46-yard line. Goes Warner, getting up with a little limp.
Well, regardless of the score of this game, that young man's been playing his heart out all night. Unfortunately, I think that run was all for naught. It looks like they're marching the ball back. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was a hold. Sometimes that's why those plays go as long as they do, because somebody was holding. But you know what they say, Coach Lindsay, there's generally someone holding on every play. Whether they see it or not, it's another story.
So instead of a 1st and 10, Fairbanks looking at a 3rd and 11. Motion.
Little jet sweep
Give
there.
2. And Anarino going to pick up part of that yardage. Going to bring up 4th and about 3.
And that tackle.
I got to believe Fairbanks is going to punt it here. I mean,
yeah, you would think so, Coach.
There's no sense in adding.
Should be noted that last tackle was by Drake Fascione, who is a sophomore, so it's looking like little by little the youngsters are getting in the ball game. If we look out there and we look at a lot of these numbers, these aren't the young men we saw in the first half of the ball game. So, like we noted earlier, Coach, it looks like our youngsters are getting some snaps.
Fairbanks is going to go for it here on 4th, and caught and dropped immediately by number 8. Hutchins.
That was Robert Lambert on defense there. Prex is going to take over on offense. And, Coach, it should be noted, we were talking earlier about youth football. We actually have flag football, too, at the younger levels for our, 2nd, 3rd graders. So, every Saturday morning They play behind Harding High School there, right behind the tennis court. So if you got nothing to do tomorrow afternoon, we'll go out there and check out those youngsters playing flag football.
Looks like Noah Thompson now in at quarterback. And Jarrell Fluellen, the lone setback. And Coach Brady a little upset about something.
I do believe that was probably delay a game. Yeah.
Delay a game of Harding. See, those are the little things that I talked about earlier. I know you're up 55-0, but, you know, things like that, especially for your younger kids, you just no room for it on tonight's game.
Well, you know, you got to believe a youngster like Noah Thompson gets in that ball game as a freshman, and he's getting ready to take a snap, standing on the H. I mean, he's got to be nervous.
Oh, he's going to be nervous.
Absolutely. He's got to be nervous.
Handoff, Jarrell Fluellen. Sweep to the right. Got a little bit of room. Going to be ran out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage.
That was great pursuit by the youngsters from Fairbanks. Great pursuit. Noah Thompson looking at Coach Wessler, getting the signs.
Trenton Ramsey now coming in.
You know, it's nice to see Trent Ramsey back in the ball game. He was hurt last week. Fantastic young man, president of the student council at Marion Harding High School, and you know, just another fine example of the great kids we have at Harding High School.
Very talented young man.
Absolutely.
Noah under center. Handoff. Colin Hill, fullback.
It's good to see that young man run the ball as well.
Colin for a head for about 5. Got back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up a 3rd and 10.
Brex has come out in a pro formation.
Noah Thompson in shotgun formation. Going to hand off.
Well, you know, you got to believe here, Coach, that with the Prexy being so deep in their own territory, they're going to go for it here. Not for the fact to rub it in, but just for the fact that, you know, they're so deep, and at this point, punting it really isn't going to matter, and they're a little too far to maybe kick the ball. So I got to believe we're going to see another run here.
Might even see a Noah Thompson pass right here. Handoff. Fullback, Colin Hill. Colin ahead for maybe a couple. And
looks like
Fairbanks is going to take over on the 34-yard line.
Looks like we got a Prexy player, number 40, getting up a little gimpy there.
Trenton Ramsey.
Oh, Trenton.
Well, yeah. You know what? They got the numbers. I don't think that's the correct numbers.
I think that's
Trenton Ramsey.
Trenton Ramey, Coach. Trenton Ramey. Yeah. A junior. Young man I had the pleasure of coaching when he was a freshman. He's a fantastic young man. Know he's involved in some programs out at Tri-Rivers. Just a great young man. Looks like Fairbanks is in doubles here. Got a pistol set.
Warner back to pass, looking, going long. Got a man, and he caught the ball.
Oh, and he caught that.
Wow, what a concentration catch by Hutchins.
You know, and it should be noted that was, like you said, Coach, that was a fantastic catch.
Well, great defensive play, too. And it was just Taylor Peterson.
Yeah, absolutely. That was that young man was in perfect position. He was with him all the way. Just that was a great catch by that young man. And sometimes, even if you play it perfect, the other guy just makes that good of a play.
And he made the play.
He made the play, absolutely. But, you know, it should be noted that Taylor Peterson, once again, is another one of those young men that plays more than one sport. He's also a basketball player for Don Worstel's Prexies.
And the flags come out again. And approachment on the Prexies. Obviously, Fairbanks going for 2.
That'll be half the distance to the goal, so instead of on the 3, it'll now be on the 1.5 or 2, Coach. Makes things a little easier for the Panthers.
I guess the clock does stop on scores. Not sure when it stops and when it starts. Warner, pass incomplete. So, with 2:02 remaining in the third quarter, Marion Harding holds a 55-6 lead over Fairbanks. You're watching Marion Harding High School football, a Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
And I can talk about it in a positive way and an honest way for the rest of my life. You know, in a community or in a town, your role models are the people that you deal with, that are in your face, that you talk to, that you can ask questions to, not necessarily some basketball player or actor on screen. Boys and girls clubs, great futures start here.
We're back here at Harding Stadium. Harding with a 55-6 lead over Fairbanks with 2:02 remaining in the third quarter. And I believe this is the second kickoff return for Harding tonight.
Yeah, Coach, I believe you're right.
And back deep, I believe it's still Titus Douglas, and they're going to squib kick it to the front line. And the gentleman did what he should have been told to do. You get the ball into your alignment, and you just drop with it.
I think that was number 61 for the Prexies, sophomore Zach Keller.
Zach Keller with the kickoff return. Harding will start
Onside kick covered by Keller.
at the 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line.
Coach Wessler giving instructions to the offense. Looks like we got number 4 at quarterback, Coach Lindsay. Tyreek Harris, junior Tyreek Harris. Panthers all over that play.
Tackled by Palmer and Justice. Boston Will on the play brings up a second and 11.
Prexies with a second 11 here.
And Noah Thompson still at
No, we have Tyreek Harris in the ball game, Coach. Tyreek Harris.
handoff. Colin Hill.
Colin Hill, he's
Bringing a couple
rumbling, stumbling,
tackles.
bumbling.
Colin down to about the 28-yard line. 27.
Sophomore Colin Hill.
Colin running with a little bit of authority there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely running with a head of steam there.
It's not too late to join the Harding Athletic Booster Club. Meetings are held the second Tuesday of every month.
I gotta think we might see a little more Colin Hill on this play, Coach.
Handoff again.
Absolutely,
Colin
there
Hill.
he goes.
Colin ahead for about 3. Going to bring up a second and about 7. Make it 8.
Looks like Tyreek Harris is coming to the sideline.
26-yard line.
Coach, I believe that's the end of the third quarter. When you
End
know
of the
that
third
running clock,
quarter.
things go fast.
Marion Harding 55, Fairbanks 6. You're watching Marion Harding football, a Harding High School Telecom production.